Hi, this is Srinivas. Today we are going to discuss association in Hibernate. What is the purpose of association in Hibernate? In Hibernate, to put relation between entities, that is one object with multiple objects, we use associations. The main advantage of associations is to perform operations on one object, we can transfer that operations on other objects. Okay. For example, if you want to retrieve data from more than one table, compulsory we must put association in Hibernate. Okay. See, to create association relationship with object to object, compulsory there must be a foreign key relationship in database tables. Okay. There are four types of associations in Hibernate. They are one to many, second one many to many, third one to one, fourth one many to one. Okay. There are four types of associations in Hibernate: one to many, many to one, one to one, many to one. Okay. First one to one. First one is one to many. In this relationship, one parent has many child objects. To create this kind of association relationship in our Hibernate, we need to perform two modifications. One, in parent class, in parent poser class, we must take child class as a collection property. For example, we can take any child class as java.util.set property or java.util.list property or java.util.map property. We can take child property in a parent class as set property or list property or map property. Okay. Second one, in parent class mapping file, we must take one corresponding collection property to map this child property. Okay. For example, team has relationship between players table, One team has many players. According to this diagram, one team has many players. Okay. In this program, I am taking child property in a parent class as set property, java.util.set property. Okay. We'll see this one in practically. Okay. Let's see. To implement one-to-many relationship, I written one application one-to-many using set. In this, I written one team class. This team class has team ID, team name, and set of players. So here players is a property. What type? Set type property. So one team has many players. For every property, we return one getter and setter method. Okay. Setter and getter method. For every property, I return one pair of getter and setter methods. Next, this is players. It is a child class. Every player has player ID, player name, and age of player. And this is team ID. This is a foreign key value, foreign key column. It refers to parent class table. If you want to implement association relationship, there must be foreign key relationship between child to parent. Okay. Here to implement a foreign key relationship, here we are using parent class ID as a foreign key column. In this column is primary key column in parent class. Okay. Team.sbm file. In this team.sbm file, I am mapping team class with the team table. Next, every team has ID. I am mapping ID property, team ID with the column team ID. Next, team name property with the team name column. Next, here to map child class, we are using set property. So to map set property, here we are using set tag. Through set tag, we are mapping set property name and child table name. So this is foreign key column presented in a child class. It refers what? Parent class primary key column. Okay. This is a special tag, one-to-many tag, to specify relation between one POJO class to another class. Here team has what? Many players. We are implementing one-to-many relationship, like one team has many players. So this is child class POJO name. Okay. And here configuration file is same as previous application. Next, players.sbm file. We are mapping player.sbm file, player POJO with players table. Next, every player has player ID. We are mapping that with player ID with player ID column. Next, player name with player name column. Next, player age with age column. Next, this is foreign key presented in where? Child class table, which refers what? Parent class primary key column. Okay. Next, in team.sbm file, when you save team object, it saves both team data into team class and players data into players class. By default, Hibernate wants to save child data into child table. If you want to give indication to Hibernate to save child data into child table, in set tag we use one attribute called Cascade attribute. by default Cascade attribute equal to none. That is, so when you save parent class data, it won't to save child class data into child table. When you pass this value Cascade equal to all, in this case Hibernate saves parent data into parent table and set of child data into child's table. This is additional attribute lazy equal to false. When you pass lazy equal to false, see Hibernate, whenever you are loading parent object, it won't load all child objects at a time, because if you pass lazy equal to true, for example, one team has 11 players. So here cricket team has 11 players. So if you load cricket team, it loads 11 team players objects into memory. Instead of loading 11 team members into memory, if you set lazy equal to false, whenever you call any property of child class, then only it loads corresponding players information into memory. Okay. Next, in this I written many client application. First one, I am inserting team data and players data. So for that I written one to many client application 1. In this, these steps are common like previous application. Okay. Next, first I am creating one player object, player IP1. Here I am setting player ID, player name. Next, player is one player. Next I am creating one more player object. Player ID is 2, player name is Dhoni, player age is 33. Next I am creating one more object, player object. I am attaching this complete 3 players information into one set, that is hash set. Set C players equal to new hash set. I am adding all 3 players into this set. Next I am creating one team, that is add Indian cricket team, team IT equal to new team. In this I am setting team ID. Next, team name is Indian cricket team, and I am attaching all players with all players to this team. Whenever you call set players by passing players set, so here whenever you save team object, whenever we save team object, it saves team data into where? Team table, and complete players data into players table. Okay. Next I am creating one more player object, Pakistan team, player PK1 new player. So here I am setting player ID, player name, player is, again I am creating one more player for second team and third player for second team. I am attaching these 3 players to set. I am creating one new team, second new team. I am setting team ID. Next I am setting team name, Pakistan cricket team. I am attaching all second team players with this second team. Next I am saving second team into database. Here it saves this cricket team into team table and players information into players table. Players table contain a relation between our team table. Okay. Whenever you say transaction.commit, it saves both transactions permanently into database table. Okay. Let's run this application. Run as Java application. Okay. It generated how many insert queries? First it generated select query for players. Next it generated one more select query for another player. Next it generated select query for another player. Hibernate checking these players are already available or not. If these players are not available, it generated insert to query for team table and three insert query for inserts query for first team. Okay. Next, it generated update query to save second team players information into a players table. Okay. Next, update query for next player, select query to test these players are already available or not. Next, here it generated insert queries to add new players second team players information into players table. Next, okay, let's see in database. In this system I am using Arkle XE version. Enter username of database and enter password of database. Okay, let's see, select star from team. Okay, we inserted two teams, team ID 1 Indian cricket team, team ID 2 Pakistan cricket team. Select star from players. Okay, see here we inserted players information, but here it won't maintain any insertion order because we have used set. If you insert a set won't maintain any insertion order. Okay, this is a foreign key column. This is foreign key column which refers what? Parent to class primary key column. Because of this foreign key column, we can get, when you retrieve one team information, we can get corresponding players information. Okay, through this application we have inserted two teams and corresponding team players information into database. Okay, next, see next application. Here we are reading one team with corresponding players information. Okay, in this application first I am passing team class and team primary key value, team ID. So here this get method loads corresponding team. When it loads a team, it loads what? Complete players in players. Hibernate generates one query to get complete players object and adds all those players into set property of this players team class. Okay, here it loads what? This team with team ID 1 and its players information. Okay, let's run this application. Okay, team name is Indian cricket, team ID is 1, the team size is 3, it loaded all players information. Okay, I written one more application to display complete teams, all teams and all players information. For this I written SQL query, Hibernate query language. Here first I created query object by calling session.createQuery method. For this one I pass a Java formatted query from team. It loads what? All team objects and all players object. Whenever we call queue.list method, query.list method, it loads what? All team records into one list. Okay, next I written one for each loop to read each team entry. This teams is a reference variable. It points to what? List object. This list object contain what? List object contain list of teams. Okay, this for each loop reads for each element presented in these teams and loads into team variable. Okay, this T contain for each time this T contain one team object reference. Through this T I am getting team name, team ID, and this T contain what? List of players. I am getting these players object. First team contains set of players. Next I am displaying each player's information. This is sub for each loop. Through this for each loop I am displaying this particular team players information. Okay, run this application. This application displays what? All teams and all players information. Okay, see, it displayed first time team type is Indian cricket team, team ID is 1, and Indian cricket team players list. Next it displayed second team Pakistan cricket team, team ID is 2, it displayed all players information. Okay, thank you.